Your guys' most requested character for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC is King Bomb with a whopping 262 points. Points are determined based on how individually you guys rank each character on a 5 scale. So if you place a character as your most wanted character, they get 5 points for your vote. If you place them as their 5th most wanted character, they only get 1 point for your vote. And everybody votes, all the points are added up, and that is the character's total points as how much you want them as DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's really no surprise that King Bomb would be the #1 pick. 262 points. Man has been around the Mario universe a lot, starting from Mario 64, but then becoming playable in Mario Kart Tour, in Mario Golf Super Rush. Man has really made a name for himself, so I could easily see him as DLC from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. #2 is a fan favorite. We got Rob, who scored 222 points. In fact, these are the only 2 characters to get over 200 points. These guys dominated your guys' polls and your votes. Rob was playable in Mario Kart DS, and of course, he made a name for himself in the Super Smash Bros. Series after that. But it seems like a lot of you guys still want Rob included in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as DLC, myself included if that were the case. So shout out to you guys for getting Rob in there as the 2nd most requested character. #3, we got a little bit of a shocker, but this is Nabbit from New Super Mario Bros. U is where he debuted. He made a playable appearance in Mario Golf World Tour and eventually in Mario Kart Tour, so he hasn't had too many playable appearances, but he's still a cute, lovable character, and a lot of you guys seem to really resonate with him. He scored 177 points, and the fun fact about Nabbit is that he is the only character to have at least 10 votes in each the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th most requested slots, almost getting a full sweep of 10 plus votes in all 5 categories, but no character was unable to do that. So Nabbit is the closest. #4, we got Hammer Bro. Hammer Bro has 149 points, and Hammer Bro, in fact, is the character with the most 3rd place votes out of any character requested with 19. A lot of people wanted Hammer Bro as their 3rd most requested character, and a lot of people also requested that Hammer Bro be included with his ultimate color variants. You got Fire Bro, you got Boomerang Bro, you got Ice Bro even. 3 other variants were included in some of the prior Mario baseball games and even in Mario Kart Tour as playable characters. So let's get Hammer Bro and of course his colored variants as playable characters in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. #5, we got Professor Egad. He's got 134 points, snuck his way up the ladder, wasn't too popular in the beginning, but eventually a lot of people started voting for Egad more and more, and he climbed his way all the way up into the top 5. Egad, of course, very well known for his Luigi's Mansion appearances, was rumored and planned to be in Mario Kart DS. Egad is still waiting for an appearance in a Mario Kart game, has not had one yet, so maybe Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC would be his time, or a future Mario Kart game. You guys be the judge. #6, we got the lovable pup Poochie, and Poochie is the last character to have over 100 points, just barely. Poochie ended with 101 total points, and a lot of you guys really want Poochie. He's very popular from the Yoshi's Island game and made a resurgence after being playable in Mario Kart Tour, and especially after Yoshi's Island became a DLC track in Wave 4 of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. A lot of people started remembering who Poochie was and how lovable of a pup this character is. So yes, it would be fun to see Poochie drive around in a car or bike or an ATV. Get him in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. #7, we got Goomba. Now, I omitted Goomba from my doubling of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe roster video from last week. Make sure you go check that out if you want, but you guys really wanted Goomba to be included. Man has no arms. I didn't think it would be possible for him to ride a cart, but you guys decided, you know what, screw it, we're going to throw in Goomba regardless. Now, Goomba scored 92 points, one of, if not the most iconic enemy in the Mario series. Goomba is a very popular choice to be included for DLC in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. At #8, we have our first non-Mario character. This is Kirby with 86 points, and this is also the last character that has more than 10 votes on any given metric out of the top 5, with 10 first place votes, which catapulted him into the end of this top row of characters, this top 8 of most popular, most requested characters for DLC and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. A lot of people really want Kirby. We really wanted Kirby, especially from Mario Kart 8 on Wii U going onwards when they started announcing non-Mario characters on Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe. Kirby seemed like the perfect choice, and I'm kind of surprised they didn't end up doing it, but if they were to continue to introduce non-Mario characters, I think Kirby makes one of the most sense. So throw him in there. Starting off the 2nd row at #9, we got Dixie Kong, the first of many Kong characters on this list. Dixie Kong has 78 points. Dixie Kong is playable in Mario Kart Tour, was also playable in both Mario baseball games, so she's got a little bit of playable history throughout the Mario franchise, and Dixie Kong's just a fun Kong character, just to diversify. Besides Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong and Funky Kong, we could add another Kong to the mix. Throw Dixie Kong in there. Snuck into the top 10, but rounding out the top 10, though, we got none other than our man, Captain Falcon. Again, another non-Mario character, but a very popular one, especially tied to Mario Kart games because he's got a Mii outfit suit. He's got 2 racetracks in Mute City and Big Blue in Mario Kart Deluxe, and he also has the Blue Falcon, which has been a playable vehicle in both Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So there's a lot of F-Zero ties in Mario Kart, and especially Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Captain Falcon is secretly omitted from the character roster, but you guys know better and are including Captain Falcon into your list for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe rosters if it was doubled to 96 characters. Next up, we got Paratroopa, who scored 67 points, just 1 point behind Captain Falcon, and a lot of you guys seem to really like Paratroopa. Paratroopa is from Mario Kart Double Dash. At least that was the last playable Mario Kart appearance for Paratroopa. I'm even personally shocked that they didn't even include Paratroopa in Mario Kart Tour. I guess they wanted to shadow ban him from the rest of the Mario Kart series for good. I don't know what happened to Paratroopa, but ever since Mario Kart Double Dash, he has not been playable. But you guys certainly haven't forgotten about him as the 11th most requested character in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for DLC. Next up is Luma, and Luma scored 61 points for you guys. I also had Luma on my list. I think it only makes perfect sense just as a companion to Rosalina, and even though Luma was a companion to Rosalina in Mario Kart Wii, she should deserve her own character spot in a Mario Kart game. Good on you guys for making Luma the 12th most requested character as DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe if the roster were doubled. Next up, we have our first tie in points, but first up, I'm going to talk about Gino, who scored 57 points amongst you guys. There were a lot of people who voted for Gino in the beginnings rounds of the voting, but then as more and more votes started piling in, Gino started getting more and more requested, and man started getting up there in the tally. So 57 points, very good on Gino. However, Gino's not the only character to score 57 points. That's right, Honey Queen, the character from Mario Kart 7 and none other Mario Kart game, also scored 57 points. I personally could do without Honey Queen. I don't need Honey Queen in another Mario Kart game unless it was a Mario Kart Ultimate where they were bringing everybody back. Then sure, bring back Honey Queen. I'd be okay with this regardless of what happens. 57 points, a tie between Honey Queen and Gino. Next up with 56 points, just 1 point shy of the tie, is our man Toadsworth. Toadsworth has never been playable in Mario Kart game. He was the referee in Mario Kart Double Dash, or at least the organizer, and Toadsworth has also been playable in some Mario Baseball games. He was the host of a Mario Party 7, so he's been around the Mario universe, but he hasn't been around in about a decade. So you guys haven't forgotten about him. He deserves a spot on the top 2 rows of the DLC in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And rounding out the second row, the character, in fact, with the most first place votes out of anybody else in the second row that we've talked about is my man, Donkey Kong Jr. Now, I'll be honest, if it wasn't for me and this channel hyping up DK Jr. as much as we have, I don't think DK Jr. would have gotten the love that he deserves, and I don't think DK Jr. might not have even made this list. But because I feel like I've done such a fantastic job raising up DK Jr., plus the fact that DK Jr. returned in his SNES sprite in Mario Kart Tour, give myself a pat on the back because you guys know the recognition that DK Jr. deserves. We cannot forget about our man. Kicking off the third row, we have kind of a bit of a shocker in my personal opinion, but we got Fallful with 53 points. Fallful from the Mario and Luigi series, and a lot of you guys are really big into these RPG games that I quite personally have not had too much experience in, but I know Fallful is one of the more popular characters from both of these games, so it only makes sense to have Fallful in there. If you're gonna expand the roster to almost 100 characters, let's get some RPG representation here, and Fallful seems to be one of the more highly requested characters from that genre of games, so I'd be okay with this. Coming up right behind Fallful is the character that I actually put first on my DLC video. We got Cappy, who scored 52 points. Cappy, of course, would be wearing his iconic ghost uniform with the massive white top hat. If he was just Mario's Cap with the eyes, I feel like it wouldn't necessarily make any sense. You almost think of him as like a Boo, but just in like a different shape. And of course, he is Mario's companion in Super Mario Odyssey, one of the best Mario games to date. Cappy definitely deserves a nod to get into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's DLC. The last character with 50 or more points, we got Monty Mole now, and he actually scored exactly 50 points. Monty Mole, the lovable stub. We can't forget about him. I mean, this dude's just incredible. He was playable in Mario Kart Tour, so he does have some Mario Kart action in him. He's got some Mario Party experience and some Mario Baseball experience and Mario Strikers experience, so he's been all over the playable Mario field in the spin-offs, but he needs a more console Mario Kart representation, and you guys are going to give it to him because with 50 points, Monty Mole clearly, easily makes it into the DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Next up with 43 points, we have our man King K. Rool. King K. Rool I don't think has been playable in a Mario game since Mario Super Sluggers. King K. Rool has also been playable in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but besides that, has kind of been lost in the void. So I'm glad you guys are still giving this man the spotlight that he deserves, bringing up DK in his name in the Donkey Kong Country games. So King K. Rool obviously deserves a spot in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. Next up, we got Chargin' Chuck. 38 points for this guy. Mario Kart Tour, Mario Golf Super Rush. Not too many playable appearances under his belt so far, but the two he's had has really given him a little bit of a resurgence. He was originally an enemy in Super Mario World. With this comeback into the later Mario games, Chargin' Chuck is becoming a more popular Mario enemy amongst some of the other common ones that we have, and he just looks like a full brute of a character. He'd be a really fun heavyweight to use. Now, a character that doesn't make sense to be thrown into the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC for me is MC Ballyhoo from Mario Party 8. He is the host of Mario Party 8. There are so many hosts among the Mario Party franchise, so many games, but MC Ballyhoo, really the one that has only been appeared in Mario Party 8, has no other appearance whatsoever, gets this many tallies. He just gives that much of an impression on you, and I gotta say, you know what? I'd support it. Why not? Next up is Pianta with 30 points on the dot. This is definitely the more lovable character from Super Mario Sunshine. As an NPC, eventually gets a playable role in Mario Superstar Baseball and Mario Super Sluggers. Has not been playable anywhere else, does not have a Mario Kart playable appearance anywhere, but this could be his time to shine. He's still above average in your guys' picks for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC with just 30 points on the dot. Pianta would be a very fun addition to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And following that, rounding out our first half of characters to be admitted into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as DLC, according to you guys, is Boom Boom with below 30 points. We have 28 for Boom Boom. The first character below 30 points just rounds out the top half of characters, though. Boom Boom is a fun character. A lot of enemies, a lot of boss stages for him, although they are super easy in the recent Mario games. And he's been playable in Mario Tennis Aces, so you got to give Boom Boom a little bit of credit, but I do think he deserves a nod into a Mario Kart series, and you guys are giving him just that. Let's get Boom Boom into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, a character that could almost be an alternate costume, but I wouldn't be upset if they were their own character, is none other than Captain Toad. Captain Toad scored 27 points, and he is the first character on this list to not have a single vote in third and fourth place. Two separate categories, not getting a single vote for Captain Toad, but his second place votes. 5 second place votes is what catapulted him. 27 votes in total, but he is still well within the rights to be included into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, and I would support this. Get Captain Toad in here. He's playable in Mario Kart Tour. Let's get him in 8 Deluxe. A character who has never been playable in a Mario Kart game before, but has had his fair share of exchanges with Mario, is Sonic the Hedgehog, of course. 26 points for our boy, just 1 point behind Captain Toad. And Sonic, of course, has been playable with Mario in the Mario and Sonic games and in Super Smash Bros. And he's a mascot of his own entire franchise. He's also got his own racing games. He's got Team Sonic Racing, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, and my personal favorite, Sonic Riders. So if Sonic's going to get some racing, he's got experience. Throw him into a Mario Kart game. Next up, we have our first character with 0 first place votes, and that is Spike. Spike the enemy, who has a playable appearance in Mario Party 10 in Mario Tennis Aces, and that is it. No Mario Kart Tour appearance. 19 points, so he is below 20 points, but with 19 points, Spike makes it into this fourth row of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC characters that you guys want into this game, and I think he would be a great choice as well. We have our next tie, and this is a 3-way tie, as the ties are starting to get a bit more common now, as the total points per vote are starting to get lower and lower. But first up, we have the character that I introduced second. That is Prince Florian from Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Florian with 18 points. He's kind of made an impression on you guys. Seems like a lovable character. He was a little bit annoying and too talkative in Wonder. We could use a lightweight character that's not necessarily a baby. So I think Prince Florian can be that character to make that diversity work in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as DLC, and you guys seem to agree. 18 points for Prince Florian. Also tied with 18 points, we got Cranky Kong, and Cranky Kong did this without a single 4th or 5th place nod. He only had 1 first, 1 second, and 3 third place votes, which tallied him to 18 points. So good on you guys for voting Cranky Kong into the Mario Kart Deluxe DLC. I'm happy to see him. I put him in my 48 as well. So I think Cranky Kong will be a nice addition as a Kong character in Mario Kart Deluxe. And finally, with 18 points, I didn't think this character was going to included on your list at all, but after seeing him in my video, I think you guys might have gotten persuaded a little bit, which good on me. We got the Penguin, originally from Super Mario 64, and has been in a host of Mario spin-off games ever since. No playable appearance though, but I think the Penguin would be incredible, and he ties with Prince Florian and Cranky Kong for 18 points. So good on all of you guys for voting them well into the roster for Mario Kart Deluxe. Next up is Ninja. Now, Ninja has 17 points, but he managed to do it without a single first place or third place vote. So that's kind of a unique achievement for Ninja in and of itself. He's a very unique character as he's only been playable in Mario Golf Super Rush, but he's made a name for himself in Super Mario Maker when he had to race the ghosts to try and complete levels before they did. So it was a very interesting tactic, and Ninja seems like a fun, mysterious type of character. I think you guys seem to agree. I'm glad we're throwing Ninja here into Mario Kart Deluxe DLC. Our last Kong of the day, a character I thought stood no chance in getting into this DLC, but you guys voted her in. Tiny Kong with 16 points rounds out the 4th row of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, and I think it's a smart addition. Tiny Kong was last playable in Mario Super Sluggers. I think she needs a little bit of a resurgence, so get her in there with her pal Dixie Kong and Cranky Kong. The whole Kong family is here. Why not throw Tiny Kong in here? Starting off this 5th row, we got a two-way tie for 15 points, and we have Mallow. Mallow did not get nearly as much love as Gino did. Mallow didn't even have a first or a second place vote, so managed to get 15 points with just the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place votes. Some of you guys liked Mallow, but not enough to make him your most or second most requested character. Regardless though, it was enough to put Mallow through over the edge, and with 15 points, Mallow makes it into the roster for Mario Kart Deluxe DLC. The other character with 15 points is a character that doesn't even exist. Baby Pink Gold Peach. Like, are you serious? How did 3 of you guys, 3, put down Baby Pink Gold Peach as your first place vote? I just don't even understand how this is possible. How the heck did you guys do this? I don't agree with this, but sure, why not? Next up with 14 points, we got Zelda. Now, it only makes sense because Link is already playable in Mario Kart Deluxe. Now, why not Zelda? I mean, we got multiple representation from the other non-Mario games. We got Inkling Girl and Inkling Boy, and we got Villager and Isabelle. Why not we get Link in Zelda? Why does Link have to be by himself? I kind of agree with this. With 14 points, yeah, throw Zelda in there. But tied with her for 14 points is the other Spike, Foreman Spike, the Spike who made a name for himself in the Mario movie after being obsolete from the Mario universe since Wrecking Crew, making a comeback. He's never been playable in anything, but maybe soon he will get his opportunity. And with 14 points, there was enough votes to put him over the edge, tied with Zelda, to show that Foreman Spike maybe deserves a nod into Mario Kart Deluxe DLC. We have a 4-way tie with 13 points, which is the rest of the 4 characters in this 5th row. Starting off, we're going to talk about Olimar. Olimar, I mean, I've come to become very familiar with Olimar from my entire Pikmin series playthrough on stream with you guys last summer. Olimar is also a fun character from the Super Smash Brothers games as well. Has not made a Mario Kart appearance because, you know, why would he? But maybe this is an opportunity. If Nintendo will start to bring in more non-Mario characters into Mario Kart, maybe Olimar's a character to think about. I don't know if I would agree with it, but with 13 points, it seems like you guys do. Next up, a character that I think would make for a better alternate costume than its own character, but still a fun option. We got Gooigi, a man that made his name for himself, and I believe Luigi's Mansion 3. This is a fun character. It's just a green slimy Luigi, because why not? Let's get a customizable fully green Luigi that's not metal, but made of goo, made of slime. He's got a fun, wacky personality to him, and just imagine those trick animations of him just like exploding and forming back together. There's a lot you could do with Gooigi, and I think this is a chance to make something happen here. Also tied with 13 points is the Waddle Wing. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't realize this enemy existed, but now I know that it's from New Super Mario Bros. U and U Deluxe. When you guys were voting for Waddle Wing, I thought for the longest time that you guys were saying Waddle Dee, but we're just spelling it wrong like Waddle Dee from the Kirby games. But no, Waddle Wing is its own character. I had no idea, so I just learned that, and I appreciate you guys. He's an adorable looking enemy. This squirrel looks incredible. So with 13 points, yeah, throw Waddle Wing in there. And rounding out the third row with 13 points, we have Dr. Mario. Of course, he's been playable in Smash Melee and Smash Ultimate and Smash 4. He's been playable in Mario Kart Tour. So even though he could be a better alternate costume to Mario, I think we got to get him his own character slot in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. Dr. Mario, he's been his separate playable character for the longest time. Why break the mold now? And with 13 points, I got to agree with you guys. Let's throw Dr. Mario into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. There is a three-way tie for 12 points here. So let's get started on this final row of characters of who you guys voted to be in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. First off, we have Piranha Plant. Piranha Plant, again, making a name for himself not only as a Mario enemy since the 80s, since Mario's been around, but now he's making a name for himself as a playable character. Smash Ultimate, Mario Tennis Aces is Fire Piranha Plant. He's got some moves, fellas. Piranha Plant could drive a kart if Nintendo really wanted him to. I don't know if I want him to, but it might end up happening whether we like it or not. 12 points, Piranha Plant might make your list for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. Next up, we have Pac-Man. 12 points for Pac-Man. I didn't think he was going to get included after the very low votes that Pac-Man was receiving, but eventually you guys pushed him over the edge and he barely squeaked by onto this last row, this bottom row of your guys' Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC if it was doubled. I love Pac-Man. I think Pac-Man's a fun character and he was playable in a Mario Kart game, the Mario Kart arcade games, Arcade GP, GP2, and GPDX. So Pac-Man obviously deserves a nod into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC just based off of pure experience. And the last character tied with 12 points we got is Dimentio. Dimentio, a villain from Super Paper Mario, a game I've personally never played, but enough for you guys to push him over the edge with 2 first place votes and 2 fifth place votes. That's how you guys were able to push this character over the edge and get him tied for 12 points. This character seems like he could be fun, seems like he could bring a lot of color, a lot of spice and energy into the Mario Kart games. I'd be able to get down with this. With 5 characters to go, we have a 4-way tie for 11 points. So first up, let's talk about Blooper, who has been almost indoctrinated as an item ever since Mario Kart DS and ended up being one of the worst Mario Kart items in history, in my personal opinion. I just don't like ink just blocking all of your screen. It just doesn't make the experience fun. But Blooper as a playable character, I can get behind. And with 11 votes, you guys just barely squeaked Blooper into this ranking, into this DLC. So I'd be able to support that. Another character that was an enemy that was also an item in Mario Kart Double Dash and was a playable character in Mario Tennis Aces alongside Blooper is Chain Chomp. Chain Chomp scored 11 points, and it might be a little bit difficult to get Chain Chomp to ride a kart, but I included him in my 48, so I feel like you guys are able to include him in your 48. There's no rules here on who can drive a kart and who can't drive a kart. Let's get Chain Chomp into this Mario Kart Deluxe DLC. Our third character with 11 points is our only WarioWare rep of this entire list. We got Jimmy T. I've never heard of Jimmy T in my life, but then again, that's also because I've never played WarioWare. I know I should probably get on that, but Jimmy T seems like a fun, cool dude. You gotta love the style. I'm loving the blue afro, the sunglasses, the clown nose. Jimmy T's kind of got that style. I don't know who he is, but I'm down to get behind it. It makes sense for me. 11 points, get Jimmy T. We got that WarioWare representation in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And the last character with 11 points to get the second to last slot in your guys' DLC is... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What? This makes the entire list null and void. You got... I know he's got his own racing game, but like that shouldn't qualify him. Shrek's a movie character, not a video game character. I don't buy this, and I can't believe you guys did. How dare you? Anyways, with that abomination out of the way, we got one last character with 10 points. I decided to throw in Paper Mario as the last character. And I mean, I decided because there were actually 5 characters with 10 points. But I threw in Paper Mario because Paper Mario was the only character out of all 5 of those characters with 10 points that had 2 first place votes that added up to 10 points. Every other character either had 1 or 0 first place votes and got 10 points through other means. Because Paper Mario had 2, first place votes, I figured that was enough of an authoritative tiebreaker to throw Paper Mario as the sole character with 10 points and the character to fill the last spot in your guys' Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think? This is your list for 48 extra characters that could be thrown in as a Mario Kart 8 DLC booster character pass if it were ever to exist. What do you guys think of the roster? Do you guys agree with your guys' choices? Because there were almost 200 of you guys that responded to my community post, and this is the character roster that ended up showing up because of it, in order from the characters that were most requested to the least requested, at least in the top 48. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you to my members. My members list is growing so much. I honestly am so overwhelmed with this positivity. Thank you guys for all of your support. This is incredible. But I thank so much all of you guys for watching the video. You guys are incredible. And please feel free to comment down below which character should be available in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC instead of some of the characters on this list. For example, what character should replace Shrek? Because obviously he needs to get out of there. But besides that, thank you so much for watching the video. Subscribe if you're new. Stay all pro. And I'm out of here.